and welcome to Permaculture Cairns for another monthly meeting. It's now September. Been doing these meetings now since March, and this is our third one live from Carol's backyard. So welcome, Carol. And,
good evening.
Welcome to everyone joining us online. Hello to Sandy and Toby who have already said hello in the comments. If you are watching, please do chat to us, say hello so that we know you're watching. Let us know how we sound because we can't hear ourselves, so we do need to know from your perspective if everything is going well. So please do comment. Please comment about what you're doing in your yard and comment about what you like about these broadcasts. So today we're going to be discussing small victories. We'll just bring up the agenda now. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to be discussing, just going through the up-and-coming events first of all. There's not many, so don't worry about that. Then small victories is what we're celebrating this month, and we've had a few people send things in, so thank you all for your contributions, and I look forward to going through with them. And then Carol and I will be discussing nutritious local foods, talking a bit about the importance of eating locally and how it can really improve your health. And then around 7:15, maybe later, see how we're going, the meeting will close. So let's start with our what's coming up. And we don't have much coming up with COVID-19 and everything. There's not many events on. But if you do know of other events, please reply in the comments and let us know what other events you know about. But the one that's coming up shortly, the second week of October, is syntropic farming up at Tolga. We'll be introducing you all to syntropic farming. That's on the 10th and 11th of October. It's already too late for the early bird special, but it is $220 now, and that does include smoko and lunch, so you can get onto syntropicsdownunder@gmail.com and register for that event. And syntropic farming is a permaculture type of farming where you really are planting for over time and space. You've done a course with them, haven't you?
Yes, I did the very first one they did, and it's mass plantings of different trees, fruit trees, shrubs, and lots of pruning back, particularly bananas, which improves the soil. It's like chop and drop in permaculture. And it improves the soil by increasing the microbes in the soil. It's good. If I could say that my property here is much like that on a very small scale.
Indeed, because it's very much about progressive planting and having a timeline for succession as different plants take over the space, isn't it?
Yes, and different heights. You have the taller trees. It's similar to our permaculture one with the 5 or 7 levels.
Yes.
So yeah, but this syntropic actually suits bigger properties.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
And it's all about producing food while regenerating the soil as well. So if you are interested in that, do register for that. $220 for the weekend is a pretty good price. And I always like to mention our own internet page, our web page. And I do have some sad news this month that our Nikki Miller will
Our media lady.
Our media person. She has been managing social media as well as the web page for since the start of the year. But Nikki will be leaving us as she will be going down south for family reasons. So we wish her luck and thank her very much for her help on the page. But do visit our website. And you can become a member if you like registering on the page, and you can check out the information that we've already got up there. It is a work in progress, which is why Nikki will be sadly missed because we do need someone else to take over that role of updating the information on the web page. So if you do know a bit about social media and websites and you want to put your hand up to help, please get in contact with me. It'll be muchly appreciated. Okay. Now, Sandy and Toby have said that we've got just a little echo on here, but relatively clear. So I will try to adjust the settings there and see if we can get rid of that. But thank you very much for that feedback. And welcome to Sally Cohen. She's finally made it to a meeting, so welcome to you too. Now, we've got some good news for our future meetings. Our October meeting will be together. We will have an outdoor event at the Manura Community Garden, because I know a lot of people have been feeling disengaged while we've been apart. And we've also got a lot of new people on board that actually want to get their hands dirty. So what we're going to do is we've lined up with Manura Community Garden to have our next meeting, which is October the 20th, at the garden, and we're going to start it at 4 p.m. So it's more an after-school event. So if you've got kids, you're welcome to bring them on. And we're going to do some gardening. Whether you're a member or not, you're welcome to come along, because this is our first meeting back. We are going to welcome everyone to this one. The great thing is that we're going to have Carol and as well as Robin there and other experienced gardeners. So if you don't know anything about gardening and you've got a garden at home that you want to tackle but you don't know what to do, this is a great thing to come along to. It's not a workshop. There won't be set lessons of things to learn. You will just be getting your hands dirty, preparing garden beds. Let me just show you a bit of the Manura Community Garden to get an idea of what it's about. And the Manura Community Garden started up about 4 years ago. It's at Lot 8, Rollinia Close, and that's in Manura, near Moody Street. You enter it via Moody Street, and behind the house is near Moody Creek there. And it's a lovely spot. They've already done a fantastic job getting it up and running, making many garden beds, and there are a few empty ones still that they need help preparing, and this is what we're going to do when we're there. As you can see, this bed has been neglected, has weeds coming up, and we're going to do this one as well. If you don't want to bend over, it's a raised garden bed, so that for people who don't want to bend over, you can still come along and garden. Or if you just want to be part of the atmosphere, take a seat, but do come along. It is a COVID event, as in we will be practicing social distancing, but because it's outside, we can go ahead with this, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. And if you can't come along, then that's okay. We will be doing the online meeting, but we're going to put it back to Thursday instead of being on the Tuesday. We'll put the meeting back to the Thursday night at 6:30, and that way I can show people that have missed out things that we did there. And this is for all people who are not in Cairns. Because we have been online, we now have people in Mareeba, Innisfail, in Atherton, all over the Cairns region who do join us every month for this. So we will be keeping the live streaming presence especially for you guys and for everyone else who can't actually physically come to our event. As I said, the meeting on the Tuesday will be at 4 p.m. And it will basically go till dark. The community garden does not have any electricity, and they don't have toilets either. So there's a hint: go before you leave home, because you won't have a chance to there. So that's why the event will be over before dark, because there is no electricity, so we can't stay there because it'll be too hard to do anything. Okay, so that's going to be exciting. So we look forward to that. Back to us, I think. Here we are. Okay, so this month we're celebrating Tiny Victories, and we chose Tiny Victories as our theme for the month, because it's the small victories that slowly improve life. And permaculture is about always improving, always getting better, always doing things more efficiently. So it is the tiny victories that get us there on our permaculture journey. So that's what we're celebrating this month. So first of all, I'd like to play for you our video sent in by Sandy Rigby. Thank you very much, Sandy. She was the first to send a video in. So let's have a look at what she's been doing in her garden.
These are my wicking beds, in which I have some little grape tomatoes and a couple of sweet basil. And then I have mizuna and mustard greens, and then just some parsley and rosellas. These need to be planted out, as does the moringa. And then I've got mint and shallots and more parsley. This is a garden bed that I built in early March and started with a few plants in it and have kept adding, and it's going gangbusters. So I have a dwarf mulberry. I ate the last of the beautiful ripe little berries this morning. Have some chilies there. Thai basil that came in with some Cuban buttercups. Sneaked in. Various pigeon pea plants, pawpaws. These are apparently Turkish eggplants, and you can see beautiful orange colouring and heaps of fruit on the bush. And I have Thai eggplants as well, more Turkish and Thai further down there. More pigeon peas, a pumpkin of unknown type in here that's gone crazy. And here are a couple of the pumpkins. A bit of a sad looking chili bush there. And yeah, they're the main things in this garden. This dwarf coconut palm is a few years old, and it's been really growing this year with the on again off again rain. These orchids, I'm no orchid grower, they've been on here for years and they've just started flowering, looking wonderful. This is the third lot of blooms on this orchid in about the last month and a bit. So I've cut the other blooms off and given them away to friends, and these will be going the same way soon. This port chili bush has been excelling itself over the last couple of years. It's been hacked back seriously and it's still producing plenty.
And I think she started again, so we'll end it there. But thanks very much for that, Sandy. And did you notice there how much Sandy has going on in such a small space?
Yep.
And some very interesting things as well. What do you think of the dwarf lemongrass?
Yeah, I never heard of dwarf lemongrass, so maybe something new.
Yeah, it's a cute little thing, and certainly, as we can know with lemongrass, it can be a huge bush.
2 metres.
So yes, you certainly don't need that much. So a small one is much better. And the coriander, she's got it in a cage, so it can't escape. And,
It can't spread.
Yeah, but with the 50% shade cloth, I'm amazed that it grows at all. But it just shows that it's thriving in that environment.
It's a tough plant.
Yeah. So good on you, Sandy. A lot of things happening in that yard, and something that we can all be envious of. Now I'm going to show you. Linda Terry from Mariba has sent us some pictures of what she's been doing in her yard. So here we have her nursery area where she pots up, coming along. But she's made some new raised garden beds. So these are about to be planted out. So they're looking fantastic in a very big yard that Linda has there. And when she harvests, why not do it with a glass of wine and really enjoy the being outside in the afternoon, taking in the rewards of the labour. A fantastic way to do it, and a lovely basket that you have there, Linda. And there's the raised garden beds are planted out. So yeah, another wonderful garden coming along. Thanks very much for that, Linda. Beautiful garden, and we love that you're sharing it with us. So there's been a lot of good things happening, and if you've had any small victories yourself that you would like to mention, please throw it in the comments of what you've been doing. And it does not have to be gardening related. It has to do with any part of your lifestyle. What's improved your lifestyle in the last year, or even before that? What are you proud of that you've achieved, that you've learned, that you've made? Let us know in the comments of what you've done to improve your life. Next, we've got Robin. Now, Robin is a great gardener. She's sold me all my tomato plants and a few other things. Back when we could not have the permaculture open day, she was growing a whole lot of plants for that, so I was able to get a whole lot of those and plant out my garden, and they've gone gangbusters, and got tomatoes coming out everywhere. It's fantastic. So Robin's going to show a bit of what she's done in her yard and a small victory that she's had. So here we go.
Hi, my existing bathtub bed. I've never had a bathtub before, and I don't like growing things in pots, but I've been here for 4 years and my soil is pure sand, and that's a garden which has had lots of goodness on it, and you can see it. I'm pointing over here. Yeah. It really, all that's happened is that these trees have grown up and my vegetables are stunted. So this year Carol gave me a bathtub bed, and I wasn't sure where to put it, so I put it on concrete pavers, a mixture of different sizes, so that next year I can move it around if I'm not happy with this location. And you can see I've grown some fabulous black Russian tomatoes. Look at them all. They're my favourite tomatoes. They've done really well in here. And a few other vegetables you might not have seen. When I was ready to sow the bed, it was at the start of COVID, and there were seedlings and seeds were just not available for what I wanted. I always grow kale and there was no kale. This is a new kale called Trontuda kale, or I suspect a really old one. It's more like an open-leafed cabbage, and that's what it tastes like, and it's fine, and it's been completely pest resistant. I just pull off a leaf when I'm wanting some cabbage. These are traditional broccoli, which Carol gave me, and they're just about ready to form heads, but unfortunately the caterpillars have found them, and I haven't been able to find the caterpillars, although I look every morning and evening. But these here, this is a different sort of broccoli. These were called Hong Kong broccoli, and they just send up these, I just break these off, and I cook them up a bit like the broccolini that you can buy. And you can see how many I've cut off here. And this is that good old Darwin lettuce. And I've got a better one, I won't go over there. There's a better one of these over there. But these, I've been eating off these for ages, pick a few stalks most days. And I like to grow flowers amongst my veggies as well, there's some sweet Alice, which I love. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Robin, and thank you also to Carolyn, who did the filming of that for her. They got together to put that up for us, so thank you both for your effort. And that broccolini plant that Robin had, she says she just takes off a couple of stalks, and you can see there that it's already flowered. Is that all right to eat it like that?
Yes, yeah, you can eat the flowers. The idea is to get them while they're little florets before they open up. But, I mean, there's quite a lot on the ones that I'm growing, so it's hard to keep up. I often chew them in the garden.
Yeah, so even after they bloom, it's not too late. They're still nice and fresh and crunchy and not too hard.
And they're quite sweet.
Really?
Yeah.
Great.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So another plant that I never knew existed. That you can just pick off a couple and keep the rest growing. So.
And that other plant that Robert's talking about, you can actually take cuttings off it.
Which plant was that?
The other broccolini that gets one head, and then when you cut that, it puts out lots of little ones all around the whole bush.
Oh.
But it does sucker at the bottom, and you can take those off and make more plants.
So it just keeps on giving?
Yeah, well, I've got 2 plants from last year that are still producing.
Oh, fabulous.
They are biennials, but usually our wet season kills them off.
Right, that was my next question. Don't they like the colder weather? And yes, it's.
But they do survive.
Okay, all right, good to know. Well, as I said, Carolyn did the filming for that video, but she also gave us a contribution of her own. So let's just show what Carolyn's done. Would you believe, not gardening related, but still, permaculture is about culture. And Carolyn has been using the lockdown to get some painting done and rediscover her artistry. So she's done a lovely still life, and at the moment she's in progress working on a beautiful vase of rosella, which, as you can see by this little detail here, is coming along fabulously. So well done, on doing that, Carolyn. It's a lovely thing to be able to do and hone your skills in artistry. So thank you for sending me those ones. Okay. Now, Carol, you've had a little bit of a small victory yourself.
Yes, yes.
Let me bring this up and you can tell us about this. What is this plant that we're looking at here?
It's called Ofenga, and it's from northern Vietnam. And it's quite tasty if you cook it. I've had that growing in my garden at the entrance to the back of the house for many years, and I didn't realise you could eat it. And the other one with it has got a purple leaf. They're both edible, but this one is really nice. And
so let me get this straight, that you live on 600 square metres. You have food plants growing everywhere, more than enough. You have this plant basically at your back entrance that you've just been growing because it's pretty, because it's got pretty coloured leaves.
Yes.
And you've just recently found out that it's edible too.
Yes, I found out from Bruce French. Bruce French's website. I saw him on Landline probably, a week or two ago.
Now, I've got a feed of this website, so let's just bring it up. Just bear with me. So this is Bruce French, and this is on the ABC website explaining what's Bruce done that's so fascinating, Carol, sorry.
He spent 30 years, he gets a pastor, but he is also an agronomist. And in the 30 years, he's travelled to many, many countries in the tropical regions, and he's studied the plants, and he's learned how nutritious they are, and his message is trying to get through to the people in those areas that they can eat these plants. They're more nutritious than cabbage and lettuce and all that. Apparently the knowledge has been lost, and he's trying to get people to feed their children. I think they say every 5 minutes 5 children die from malnutrition. Yet all these plants are there to be eaten. They just need to know about it.
And that is essentially how he got into this, that seeing people starving where there are nutritious plants growing, but they don't know that to eat them or what nutrition is in them. So he has studied plants throughout poorer countries, basically, and made a whole catalogue, a whole database of what plants grow where and the nutrition value of those plants.
It covers most of the islands, even into Africa. It's Southeast Asia.
So you can see Bruce's own website. It's called foodplantsolutions.org, and on here you can see we've just clicked on Solomon Islands, and he's got all these little booklets basically of what grow on the Solomon Islands.
And this is all downloadable if you want to.
Yeah, so this is all on the website, downloadable for free. And here you can see in one of the PDFs, it's showing the protein content of certain different plants, as well as the vitamin C content of certain plants that grow. These are all that grow on the Solomons. And another PDF is showing all the leafy greens and vegetables in the Solomons. And so you can flick through that and see everything growing in that region. Now, Solomons isn't too far away from Cairns, so whatever's going to grow there is going to grow here as well. So
Well, most of the stuff grows here.